Welcome back, you guys. I'm EFC. This is Blue Lines TV, and tomorrow at 8:15 p.m, we face Liverpool in an important game, a must-win game that could guarantee us our UCL fate in tomorrow's game. So let's hope that the team's application, mentality, and confidence is there to get that win over them, because I'm telling you, once we secure UCL spot, this dramatically accelerates our transfer business that we can do this summer. When we start going to potential candidates, we can tell them, listen, you're signing for a club that has ambition here. You're signing for a club that is going in the right direction. We've secured a UCL spot already. We're in the final of the FA Cup. We are a club on the rise. And for the game against Liverpool tomorrow night, we have an opportunity here to get that win. Now, we know that since the restart, Liverpool have won the league, and since that league has been won, their application, their mentality, it has not been the same. Now, before the restart, of course, we know that Liverpool were far performing outside the XG. We know that for most games, they relied on great individual quality to seal those games for them, and sometimes this is how football works. And if you sign great individual players, expect them to produce great individual moments happening in games too. With Liverpool, it's quite interesting because tomorrow night, they aren't going to have TAA playing at right back, and their front three, their infamous front three that has been terrorizing teams and defenses in this country and across Europe as well. Well, based on all the shots they're taking on goal, they should have a lot more goals scored. And since the restart, they've barely scored. You haven't seen Salah get on the score sheet, Firmino or Mane either. Liverpool, of course, I feel like their mentality and drive isn't the same because they've achieved what they needed to do. Yeah, they won the UCL last year, they've won the Premier League this year too. But it seems like maybe Jurgen Klopp might have plans of his own to ruin any potential celebrations and party for us. Now, I found his comparison to be quite funny because Klopp brought up the fact that back in 2014, you guys know that famous, infamous game against Liverpool, that slip that is forever immortalized in everyone's head, that slip of life that you will never forget. Demba Ba's involvement in that game too. It seems like Jurgen Klopp wants to harness that frustration and anger from that defeat back then, irrespective of the fact that most of the Liverpool players in the first team today weren't playing for Liverpool back then. So I don't really understand where that's coming from. And to me, I always thought that Liverpool would be happy to not see Man United playing in Europe. So let's see how they're going to apply themselves for tomorrow's game. But based on our previous encounters against them, I do feel optimistic. We've seen some great performances against Liverpool. Let's not forget that Super Cup game right at the start of the season where I thought we were absolutely phenomenal. And that was a game that really just cemented for me that, wow, Lampard really knows what he's doing. And I need to have a lot more faith and confidence in this team because on their day, we can compete against the best. We've seen that, and in our previous encounters, we have been unlucky. We've missed out on that experience that Liverpool have been able to rely upon to make those decisive moments happen when they need to. So for tomorrow's game, I feel like this team is mentally ready and prepared. They're ready to compete and get this win against Liverpool. We've seen throughout the season as we've been competing alongside Liverpool, Lampard knows how to play against them. He knows what he's doing. And it's time for this team to overcome the odds just one more time before the season ends. But anyway, you guys, before I do continue on, 2 quick plugs to get out of the way, of course. If you like today's video, smash that like button. I want to get over 2,500 likes for today's video. And for the second plug, if you're already planning to make a purchase for the new home season kit, the new home training kits as well, or the new Face Master Club just recently released a few days ago, you know where to find it. Go to my description, use my affiliate link, and if you do, you get access to my discount code NINI10 to get a further 10% off your order. So what are you guys waiting for? I'm here to look after you guys. We're a community. That's how it goes. And without wasting no more time, we start and we review the press conference from Lampard today. Lampard starts the press conference by mentioning that he's expecting to play against a strong Liverpool team. And this is irrespective and regardless of the fact that they have won the league and irrespective of their form dipping ever since they've won the league. Lampard moves on and he reveals that at this point in time, with the short contract extensions that Pedro and Willian sign, he doesn't know if they are going to be available for the FA Cup final or the European second leg game against Bayern Munich next month. Now, the frustrating news came out, and that's that Kante is not going to be fit enough to play against Liverpool. Now, I'm really hoping that once the season ends, Kante can just fully rest fully recuperate, fully get back to his best, because as we progress next season, with the attacking talent we look to have, we really need a Kante behind to speed that danger up. So let's hope that he gets back to full speed soon. We move on, and Lampard mentions that Hudson-Odoi is happy at the club right now. He hasn't heard anything against that, and you know, once the manager confirms that the story from the Independent was absolute nonsense, I think that we all have to accept that as the truth. And to end with the final interesting observation made from Lampard, of course, he was naturally asked about the latest surrounding Kai Havertz. I mean, it's not, we know this ain't a story that's secretive anymore. I found Lampard's reaction to that quite funny. You guys can see it for yourself.
Havertz has told Bayer Leverkusen he wants to leave. When would you like to get this deal done by?
I'm not talking about Kai Havertz. I've said before, he's a player of another team. I'm looking at a game tomorrow that is so huge for this club. The last thing I want to do is talk about players.
I think that tells us everything we need to know about this deal. And now to end things with the main part for today's video, we move on to the predicted lineup part, and I'm going to focus on two formations I feel we could see against Liverpool tomorrow night. Now we start with the first formation, and as you guys can see, I've continued to use the 3-4-3 that we recently used to absolutely thrash Manchester United. Now I feel like we could see this because ever since that win, the team have to travel up to Liverpool and they've barely had any time to work on game plans and work on tactics. And I think that's one aspect of football that we do tend to forget about at times. You know, these are human beings. They need their days to recoup. They need their days to recover. And I feel like these circumstances could dictate the formation we see against Liverpool. Now, there could be some tactical benefits to using the same formation. Right now, the players' confidence playing in this is great. And the main benefit we got from using a 3-4-3 was how we were able to constantly have an extra man wide available to help overload the sides against Man United, and basically that was how we were able to win the game. This could work against Liverpool because Liverpool, with their front three in Mane and Salah, they regularly love to receive the ball in the half spaces. They regularly like to come deeper to collect that ball too. And if we have an extra man available due to this system, this means that we could stop the amount of balls. This means that we could stop the amount of times their front three receives the ball. So I see the tactical benefits to this. If we use this formation, we have to use the exact same lineup. I don't think we have to see any changes to the team. I understand that Christian Pulisic, you know, he hasn't played in the last game. He had a small knock, but he's definitely going to be fit for the game against Liverpool. But for me, playing this 3-4-3, maybe you don't want to use Pulisic because it does rely on a lot of defensive work rate that I think Christian isn't as great at this point in time. Our back three looked very confident against Manchester United. I was really surprised with how easily they were able to just stop any threat that United did pose. So if we had that same back three against Liverpool's front three, where we can go man v man against them, that could give us some extra defensive support that this team desperately needs. And of course, in this formation, Giroud will have to start. And, you know, Giroud and Van Dijk, that's going to be a battle I'm excited to see. I think we constantly forget that Giroud is like 6'3", 6'4". The guy is a tank. He's huge. It should come as no surprise that he is able to move to Van Dijk because they're of that similar build and that similar class. So he's going to be up for that game tomorrow. He's scored against them already in the Super Cup, and, you know, playing in this formation, Giroud is key. He is key due to his ability to just keep that ball and maintain possession. So if we keep the same formation, you guys, this is the team I expect us to see. And we now move on to the second formation, and I'm using a 4-3-3. Now, as you guys can see on screen, I have Pulisic, Giroud, and Willian up front. In midfield, I've gone for Kovacic, Mason Mount, and Ross Barkley. And in defense, I have Azpilicueta, Zuma, Rudiger, and Reece James playing with Caballero in goal. Now, I thought Caballero was very good against Man United. In particular, his distribution was key. It was very good, and it was that type of distribution that I just haven't seen too much from Kepa. So Caballero deserves his place to stay in the team. And of course, the reason why I've gone for a 4-3-3 is that in our previous win over Liverpool, we used the exact same formation. And I feel because we're now using it a bit more differently now, because we're using two number 8s in front, this could be key to help us. Now, I've gone for Kovacic over Jorginho, and the simple reason is Kovacic was one of the main reasons why we could progress that ball from our defense and kickstart attacks. Honestly, he's one of the best technical, skillful players of this season by far. I mean, his close control, his ability to just be ahead of the game every single time. He's a step ahead of his opponents, but he's just effortlessly changing his body position, his direction, the close control, the skill, the fantasy he plays with. Kovacic is a serious football player, and against Liverpool, a team that would most definitely just eat up Jorginho alive if he was made to play by himself in the pivots in midfield, I think Kovacic is going to be a completely different proposal for a team like Liverpool. And I think his ability to just beat that press and, play those forward passes to your Mason Mounts, your Ross Barkleys. If that was the case, I could see our front three coming alive, in particular with Christian Pulisic, who had a pretty strong and devastating effect against Liverpool in the first game we played against them in the Super Cup. So I feel like this would be a very ambitious team that's basically saying, we are looking to win, we are looking to outscore you today. And to be honest, you guys, I feel confident with either formation Lampard was to pick, because I think right now this team is ready and they're ready to seal that deal tomorrow night, you guys. So on that point, to end things with my score prediction, I went for a win against Manchester United. Of course, I'm going to go for another win over Liverpool. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I just think that, Liverpool might score a late goal right in the end, might have some nervy moments, but ultimately I feel like this team is going to seal the win and help us progress and get that UCL spot. But anyway, you guys, that is going to be me for today. I hope you guys did enjoy. Big day of content as usual. Make sure you guys catch me tomorrow for match day. It's going to be a big day and a big night of football. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. I'm EFC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys tomorrow with some more videos.